Guys, welcome to another day on the channel, and today we're going to do a little bit of work on this HBX Transit. Now, I did an unboxing on this before, and I'm going to put a link to that up there if you want to see this. I'm going to put another couple of videos there to show you guys this thing in action. Now, it's not the fastest of things, but what sets this thing apart from like some of the competition is that it has a 2-speed transmission, so high and a low. So when you get up to something really steep or you want to crawl over something, you just flip it into low gear, and it's actually got a servo in there that actually shifts the gears. Then you've got that extra torque and that extra controllability to get over obstacles and steep hills. The only problem is that when the differentials are so loose, it was kind of just spinning the outside wheel and it wasn't really getting any traction. So I put a silicone earplug into the rear diff to sort of almost lock the rear diff, but not fully lock it. And now I want to do the same to the front because it made it massively better. If you check out some of these videos up there, guys, you're going to see what a difference it made by actually locking up this diff. So I want to lock up the front diff, and then also, if we got time, I want to try some bigger wheels on here from like a proper crawler, from like a TRX4 or... Where's TRX4s? TRX4s are over there. I want to try like some of the wheels from like one of these TRX4s and then see how that gets on. So alright, let's get on with the video. So first of all, in order to get at the front diff, I think I've got to remove all this roll cage bodywork, and that's going to be quite handy because then we can have a look inside. It looks to be just a few screws around the edges here. So I'm going to take this off, I'm going to figure it out. I'm not going to bother recording it because it's just going to be ages of me trying to figure out how it works. So I'm going to get the screws out and then I'll get you back on and show you which ones they were. Alright guys, there's literally 6 screws that hold this whole body on. It literally took me about 30 seconds. So I initially thought it was some of these screws on the side here. It isn't. So you've got screw there, and then we flip him over. Screw there, and then we've also got screw there and one on the other side, and that is it. This whole body just lifts off. So we got the lights plugged in here, so yeah, a little bit of mud in there from the last run. I'm not really sure if this is supposed to be waterproof or not. I mean, we didn't really put it underwater, but it did certainly get a little bit muddy in there. So looking at the mechanics of this, I know it's a bit dirty, and I probably will. I've got another one which is brand new, still in the box. So I'll probably at one point give you a guided tour of a new one, because this one here is just caked in mud. But I'm impressed at the quality of this, and what you get for the money. So as you can see here, there's a shift servo, which actually changes a gear here, which is controlled by a button on the controller. So we've got first gear and second gear. A few people in the comments said, no, it's not got a 2-speed gearbox. It's just done electronically. It isn't. It's actually a real 2-speed gearbox. And you change the gear, actually, just by hitting that button there. So I know it's definitely not the fastest of things, but there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to put a brushless motor inside here. Oh, this has come loose. We're going to have a look at that. All right, let's get that diff out. Subscribe. By the way, guys, I've never worked on one of these before, so I might be taking more off than I need to. But that's the whole thing in this hobby. As we go along, we learn and we learn and we learn. So this is my first time, guys, don't forget. So if you know what you're doing and I don't, then you can just quietly laugh at me. There's the diff look, all metal geared. And I'm actually pretty impressed that something this cheap does come with metal diff gears. A lot of the competition comes with plastic. So I'm going to give it a quick rinse with this brake cleaner. So you've got to be careful if you're going to use brake cleaner with this, because some brake cleaners do actually attack plastic. I know this particular one here doesn't. Well, it doesn't short term anyway. I don't know if you'd left it soaked in there for like days on end, maybe it would. Alright, so I've got these silicone earplugs here, and you can get these from eBay. And the reason I like using silicone, a lot of people say they put epoxy in there or other ways of jamming diffs up. But this still allows a little bit of give. So it's less likely to damage your gears and drive shafts and stuff like that. If you completely lock it up, it's going to put a lot more load on everything. And you're going to really run the risk of damaging a lot more stuff. At least this way here, we've got some give left. It's always difficult to know how much you can get in, and you actually want to get as much in as possible, because what happens if you don't get enough in there, it's going to kind of work its way to the edges eventually, then it's going to go looser again. So this might take a few attempts over a little bit of time to actually get it to stay sort of fairly locked. Alright, so now I have to put this back into here, but I've forgotten if it goes in this way or this way, and the trouble is, if you put it in the wrong way round, then the wheels are going to end up turning the wrong way round. So luckily, because I've been recording this, I can go back, have a look at my video footage and see which way round this went in. But what I recommend you guys do whenever you work on any of these cars is that you always put a little mark, a little dot or a little scratch or something on the side that this main gear is on, so when it comes to putting the thing back together again, it's actually going the right way around. Because I've done it before, I've put the diff in the wrong way around into something, assembled the whole car, only to find out that it's going the wrong way, and you've got to take the whole lot apart and then switch it over. Alright, I've just gone back and had a look at my footage, and it actually goes in this way around like that. It's got a little bit of water got in there, not a massive amount, so I'm going to clean that out, and also I'm going to chuck a little bit of grease in there. Look how free these wheels are. So unlike a lot of other models, this has actually got real bull race bearings in here. So as you can see guys, using electric tools really does make the job a lot quicker and a lot easier, but you have to be super duper careful. The screws on RC cars, and especially with a small RC like this, the screws are so small and they're going to be so easy to strip out. So I'll just do it up most of the way, then I come in afterwards and do the last little bit by hand. Alright, so this bit here is always a little bit fiddly, getting these E-clips back on. And there's a high likelihood it's going to ping off and I'll never find it again. But it's also definitely worth wearing eye protection when it comes to taking these pins off, because sometimes they do fire off at quite a rate. If that's going to get in your eye, it's going to hurt. Alright, so next the motor's come loose, so I'm going to have a little look what's going on in there. Maybe I should have done it while I had the front end off, but I didn't want too many pieces laying around everywhere and get mixed up. Still easy to get in there, it's only a couple of screws. Oh look, it's even got a slipper clutch. What that is actually going to do is going to protect your gears. So if you jam this thing up and it takes a load, the idea is that it takes the load by slipping on here and takes the load out the rest of the gearbox. That's a nice feature actually. So just got to come in there now with an Allen wrench and just tighten that motor back up. So a lot of people that struggle with getting the gear mesh right, they put a piece of paper in between the pinion and the spur gear. And then what that does, that normally gets to mesh pretty damn good. I mean, I've been doing this for years and I usually just do it by feel. I try to do it is get this as close to this as possible, but still have a little bit of rock. You don't want this forced together, because if you force it together, you're going to put a load of load on your motor bearings, on your gearbox bearing. Your motor's going to strain, your speed controller's going to strain. It's going to wear your gears out. It's going to cause a load of damage. So you want to get it as close as you possibly can, but make sure that there's still a little bit of backlash, a little bit of play. If you struggle, just put a piece of paper in between, do it all back up again, pull the paper out, but then still double check it, and make sure you double check it on at least on each of the four corners, just to make sure, because sometimes these may be machined a little bit out of true. So you want to make sure that all the way around there's actually nowhere where it can be a little bit too tight. And this is actually perfect. So I'm just going to nip it up here. And then check again, because sometimes when you tighten it up it does actually move. Now normally I would put some Loctite in there to stop it coming loose again, but I'm planning to do a brushless conversion and make this faster. So I don't want to Loctite it in because it's probably going to come apart again in the next few, I don't know when, but it's going to come apart again soon anyway. Alright, so all back together again. I've just got to put the body back on, but before I put that back on, I think it's probably worth doing a quick montage just so you can have a look at the inner workings of this thing. Alright, so there you have it guys, all back together again. So as you can see now, the diffs are locked, and it does still move, Perfect. Alright, so here is another HBX Transit. This one's brand spanking new, and this one's bog standard, so we can do a little comparison. So as you can see on this one, look, the differentials are fully open. Now, one modification that I like to do right away is the battery connector. It's got these little clips on there, and once you've plugged it in, it is almost impossible to get them out again. So what I like to do is just cut this little flap spot off of the plug, and you'll thank me later, you'll see. So now, when we plug that in there, you can easily pull it out again. If that little clippy thing's left on there, my God, that is so tight to get out of there. You can probably end up ripping the wires out. Alright, let's test it out. Alright, so I've got a few obstacles on the floor here. Not a perfect test. We will take it out at some point and do it in the real world. We'll do that in a different video. Oh, so this is where it opened diffs, and it is actually still getting over it pretty damn well. Ah, but there, look, as you can see, look, the opposite wheels are spinning. That's because of the open diffs. If that had the locked diffs, that would probably climb out of that. I'm actually surprised it's getting over that anyway, to be honest, guys. There's a perfect example of what happens when the diffs are unlocked. All the power's going to the wheels in the air, and the wheels that are on the ground are not getting any grip. Alright, let's try the hill climb. Alright, so a bad example on the carpet because it had loads of grip anyways. Let's try it on the slippery side. As you can see, look, that front wheel, it's losing drive. So it's probably a bit of a bad experiment in here, but we have to get this thing out into the real world and try it on the dirt, because I know definitely last time that we took it out, it was definitely getting stuck in the mud where like it was putting all the power to the other wheel. So let's quickly try the one that we've just modified and see how that handles in this situation. And then in another video, we'll take it out and we'll try it in the real world. Alright, so here we are. Let's go straight in for the hill climb. Exactly the same steepness. Oh, and as you can see, guys, look, all wheels are spinning. It's now giving power to all four wheels. And even though it didn't make it up, it did definitely have a better chance. Oh yeah, we made it. Alright, now for the obstacles. Alright, so definitely a massive improvement there. I just can't wait to get it outside in the real world and test it again there. So as a last little test, let's just see how it drives when we try and drift it around in the workshop, and a little bit of high-speed action in here. Well, I say high-speed, I mean high-speed for it. It's definitely not a speed demon, but we are going to brushless it soon, and then we'll see how fast this thing can really go. Alright, second gear. A lot of people are worried when they lock diff, saying that it's not going to steer anymore, but it still seems to be doing pretty good. It's actually a lot more controllable in here, because now that all four wheels are spinning, it's a lot more easier to drift it, really. Hey, Cyclone! Alright guys, that's it for this video. Massive improvement, a lot more usable, a lot better. As I said, we're going to take it outdoors and we're going to try it in the dirt and see how much better it really is. I know for a fact it's going to be much better. I know on a TRX4 that when the diffs are open, it gets stuck fairly easily. You flick the diff lock switch, it's just going to go all the way through, and I'm expecting no difference from this thing. So we're going to be putting on some big tyres soon. I want to try it. I want to try and put a set of these massive ones on there, because I reckon that it might be pretty damn good, because in low range it is actually pretty low, like the first gear in this. So we're going to try that in a video soon as well. So guys, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, smash the bell button to stay notified. By the way, I'm going to put a link to this Transit down below in the description box if you want to know where you can get one from. Alright guys, see you soon.